We'll go with Rich.
Hey, Coach, have you been able to wrap your head around 331 rushing yards when you looked at the tape this morning?
Yeah, there's a bunch of explosive, Rich. Whether it was quarterback, whether it was a regular run game. I thought the one thing we've done a good job all year is we've really done a good job of limiting the run. There were a lot of scramble stuff where we made a lot of guys miss. We got cut out of our gaps, especially early in the game on those two drives when they hit some explosive runs, off tackle. I felt like normally Vinny does a really good job of subbing guys in and out. I think we had 5 3-and-outs in the first half yesterday. And I think our interior guys got a little gassed, Rich. And I don't want to make an excuse because we definitely need to play better than that. But it was just uncharacteristic to see those guys out of their gaps. But I feel like we wore down a little bit. If you remember in the first half, they hit us on some explosive runs. And in the second half, we kind of cleaned that up. But we got cut out of our gaps. We got scooped. We got reached. And then the quarterback made some guys miss and made some really nice runs. I'm not concerned about that though, Rich. Now I'm disappointed in it, but I'm confident in our run defense going forward, especially after watching the tape. Disappointed, certainly. I can take blame for that as well as a defensive coach. We've got to execute better. We got to tackle better. We got to stay in our gaps better, and we got to be fresh.
We'll go next to Andy.
Jeff, I know last night you said you wanted to watch the tape, but having watched it again, what did you think of Dennis's performance and what needs to change offensively to get back on track?
Yeah, no, fair question. I figured that would be one of the first ones. I watched it hard, drive by drive. And I just, I looked at the offense as a whole first. We need to execute at a higher level. We need to coach at a higher level. And I think it's players and coaches, and I'll include myself in that. And, the quarterback and the head coach, when things go good, they usually get credit for things going good that aren't even sometimes things they should be getting credit for. And I think the same times when things aren't going good. Now I think Dennis knows he needs to play better. I think that we need to help him play better and coach better. But Andy, I think we got to look hard. I think we got to look hard at everything. How we're coaching, how we're playing, the plays, the players. And, have I made like a decision in my head right now of what I want to do? Truthfully, no. I got off the plane at 12:30. I woke up early. I watched the tape. I literally just had a team meeting. The guys were great. And I think we got to just talk through it and see what we decide to do. I know that's not what you're looking to hear, but I'm not trying to BS you or work my way around it. Just being very honest with you. And I think there's a bunch of things we need to talk through right now, and we need to play better and we need to score points. So we need to figure out what gives us the best chance to do that. And, that's where I'm at right now. Sorry for rambling, but it's just the truth. I don't have like this clear cut picture in my head to give you. Fair enough, Andy.
Totally fair. Thank you.
Go next, Trevor.
So if Dennis is still the QB1, we obviously know about him, but we don't really know much about the other guys who are in the mix. Can you just describe just what they've been doing and just what they bring to the table?
Yeah, I mean, Dennis gets most of the reps in practice. Dalen is a guy who knows the scheme really well, moves well in the pocket. He can run around a little bit. I think he has a really great grasp on the system. Matthew Reevy, another guy. He processes really quickly. He's good on the run. He's good outside the pocket. And Emmett Moorhead is a big, true freshman who has a phenomenal arm, and I think he's got a really bright future. So you got Dalen and Matthew and Emmett. So those are the other guys in the room right now who have not been on the scout team that have been down with the offense.
Go next to Emma.
Coach, was sort of an anomaly performance. Sorry, I lost my voice again. Was sort of an anomaly performance in the run defense. What do you do this week to make sure that you get back to where you were at the beginning of the season?
Emma, I'm not concerned about it. Like, I'm disappointed. Like I just told you, we had guys get cut out of gaps. We had a couple guys misfit. We had a couple guys who missed tackles. I'm very confident in the scheme to stop the run game. And I can say that because I'm in the room and I see it firsthand. I see it every single day. And our system is built to stop the run. And we certainly didn't execute it well enough yesterday. But I'm confident that we will going forward. And I get why you're asking, because what's coming down the road and a really good back who's playing at a high level. But I believe in our run defense, Emma. I do.
Go back to Rich.
Coach, 2 questions on Josh DeBerry. I noticed he had a TFL and a quarterback. Is he incorporated into your blitz package a little bit?
Yeah, he's our nickel, Rich. So when they come out with 3 wide receivers, he lines up on the inside wide receiver a lot of the time. And that guy's got to be a guy that can blitz. It's got to be a guy that can get in the box and play the run. It's got to be a guy who can cover man. It's got to be a guy who can play zone. So our nickel defender will blitz. He had a big TFL at the end of the game. And then he also had that forced fumble coming off the left edge, I believe it was, defensively.
In the second, when a guy like Brandon goes down, did Josh kind of step up in the huddle? Does he kind of become the guy in the secondary?
Well, I think both him and Elijah, as well as Jason. So the way we play, Rich, is Brandon's on the outside and Eli's on the outside and Josh is on the inside. When Brandon got hurt, we moved DeBerry to the outside. We put Sean Ashbury on the inside, and then Sean broke his arm, so he'll be out for the season. So then we moved JT back on the outside, and we put Josh on the inside. So there was a lot of shuffling yesterday because we lost 2 DBs. Sebastian, just so you guys know, Sebastian will be day-to-day. Sean will be out for the season, sadly. Bright future and was playing well. And Trey Berry will be day-to-day, in case you guys wanted an injury update.
Okay.
We'll go to Andy.
One last injury question. I know Tyler played most of the game, was out for a few snaps, and Jack came in there. How is he doing, and what did you think of his performance yesterday?
I thought he had some good moments, and I think he'll tell you he'd like to have some plays back. We didn't feel comfortable with him playing the whole game, so we rotated him in and out with Jack. Hopefully he gets to practice more and more this week to really get back in the rhythm of things. I appreciate his toughness, and a lot of guys would have been out for multiple weeks, and I mean, that kid fought hard to get back to where he could play. So hopefully he'll practice a little bit more than he did last week, and we'll continue to get where he was before the injury.
We'll go to Trevor.
A different kind of question, but we think of you as a pretty upbeat, positive guy, at least from our experience. Are you, with a 3-game losing streak, do you try to change that and show more tough love, or do you think optimism is especially important with this streak?
Well, I think you guys see me that way because I try to be consistent and I try to stay that way around the team. There's probably more tough love for me around the team behind closed doors than you would imagine, Trevor. But when I walked into the team meeting today, I was the last one to come in because I was finishing up a video I wanted to show them. And all the guys were all quiet, and usually they're all taught. I don't want guys to change who they are. I want them to be pissed off because I'm pissed off, and you guys should all be pissed off. And I want them to be a little bit frustrated. I mean, it's human nature, and I'm frustrated, and I'm sure you're frustrated because you want us to win. But that doesn't mean I turn into some raging lunatic. I mean, I think good leaders are guys that are consistent. I've told you this, when we win games, I point out the things that we didn't do good enough to, and that will get us beat the next time. And when we lose games, I do the same thing. And then I show them some good clips. And we have to do more of this. So I'm hard on them. There's a lot of tough love. But I'm not gonna come on here and around you guys all of a sudden. I've been on teams that started off 0-9 that won the last 6 games in the NFL, and then 2 years later went to the Super Bowl. We have 5 football games left. And we need to get better. I know that. And I need to coach better. And I'm going to. And we need to execute better. We need to play better. And we will. But I'm not going to change who I am. So I hope that answers your question.
We'll go to Rich.
Hey, Coach, do you find it interesting when your next 2 opponents are on the latest game film you'll be looking at?
Syracuse. Oh, because the crossover tape on teams that we're going to
Yeah.
play, that usually happens a lot in the ACC play. You usually wind up seeing those teams on the other side because everybody right now is into conference play. So usually there's a bunch of crossover. I didn't even think about it like that though.
No, I just meant when you're viewing the game film, like you'll be seeing the next two opponents, like they're going against each other.
Oh yeah, that's happened a few times, but like I said, I didn't even think about it because usually like when we start watching Syracuse,
Yeah.
I'm watching Syracuse's offense to prepare to play defense. So I will see a little bit of Virginia Tech, but I won't study that part as hard as I'm getting ready for Syracuse, if that makes sense.
Thank you.
Any last questions about the Louisville game?
Hey, do me a favor. I'll stick around as long as we want right now, and I'll answer every single question about this game. But when we get to Tuesday, guys, it's got to be on to Syracuse, because last week I felt like, there's not every coach comes back on Sunday. I want to come on for you guys, and I want to answer every question. I want to be really honest, and I want you guys to feel free. Ask me every question, throw as much stuff as you want. I'm good. I'll answer them. But when we get to Tuesday, we got to move on to Syracuse with our players and with me, because we work really hard to move forward and bury it, right? And I don't want to bring that back. So if you could, please do that. And if you have more questions about this game, about anything, just ask me, and I'm going to answer, to be honest with you. So Andy, that being said, he's got his hand up.
Yeah, I'll throw one more at you. 6 first down pass attempts yesterday. It seemed like, as we mentioned and talked about yesterday, was a lot of pressure, especially on third down, really on all the downs, but especially on third down. Is that something you look forward to maybe changing up in the future, having more variance passing on early downs? Or do you think still sticking to that run attack first and second down to set up more manageable third downs?
I think it's got it. We got to throw people off. We got to be balanced. We got to look at our tendencies hard. I think you bring up great points. And I think all week we'll do that. And, talking to the offensive staff today, Andy, we got to look at what we're doing really well, right? And then we got to find things to help our guys out. And we got to find those things that our players are hitting at a high level. We got to throw some new stuff at people. We got to get it rolling. So whatever it's going to take to do that. And I think you bring up a very valid point there.
We'll go to Emma.
Coach, this is the first time since you've been at BC that you've been on a multi-game losing streak. How do you use previous experiences from different teams to change your messaging this week to your current team?
Yeah, that's kind of why it brought up. I mean, I think it was my first or second year in San Francisco. We were 0-9. And then we won our last 6 games. And then, like I said, we played better the following year, and then it was a Super Bowl run. I just look back at those coaches and how they, addressed the team and how they led, because I think that's the most important thing. I need to lead the staff and I need to lead the team. And I look at the guys that were able to lead teams out of those moments and how they did it, and the messaging and how they carried themselves. And how they tuned out the noise, and I need to do a good job like that. And I have been through moments like that. I've been on undefeated teams, and I've been on teams that have struggled. And we're gonna come through this. And I know people are frustrated. I get it, and they should be frustrated. But let me tell you this too. And I know I'm rambling a little bit, but why not? I woke up this morning. I hadn't really checked my phone, and I then all of a sudden I had like 30 text messages, and I figured half of them would be, telling me that I wasn't very good. I got more supportive messages from people that really mean a lot, whether it was boosters, whether it was faculty members, whether it was our women's basketball coach, whether it was other coaches I've worked with, whether it was alumni that I don't even know that well, whether it was Doug Flutie. Those are the people, the people who do that. That means a lot, because those are the people that are real. And there's more of them out there. But those who stick around and those who get through this tough time with us, those are the real people, and they will be rewarded.